Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
And as we are already, it's already 8 past. We normally start at 5 past. Good to see all of you here. It's Thursday again. It's consciousness.
Oh gosh, I wish he doesn't ring.
Beautiful, Mal. That's just life. That's just beautiful. Yes, it's a bit of consciousness creating again on Thursdays. And as I said, the topic of today came out of a chat that Mrudula and I had this week. And the question I would like to raise and ask you as well, with answers and thoughts around it, and maybe even further questions, because a lot of times when we discuss here, further questions get us to get into deeper insights. So the question I offer to you for sharing your thoughts on is, how can we differ between conscious cautiousness and mistrust? What would you say?
Jana,
Mm-hmm.
may you a little bit clarify the words so that we are sure we connect to that wisdom that flows?
Yeah, I can do
Sounds
so.
pretty much, yes, just add some more light on these words.
Mm-hmm. I had a situation this week, as I said, it was in the chat with Modula, where my heart was longing to believe a message that she sent me about some news on the American news, right? And my heart was longing for it. And the story was beautiful. And it was totally in line with my values and everything. One thing that I found out during the last years is that meanwhile, in the digital age, information always is faster than truth. Always. Stories are put out there very, very fast. And it's not necessarily known that they are true. And so, though I was totally in line with what Mrudula sent me, and I wanted to say, yes, I want to believe, I want this to be true, I waited until I found other sources, new sources of truth, before I could allow myself to change from seeing that as a story to seeing that as a truth. And this was my way of conscious cautiousness, but not mistrust, if that makes sense. Because I didn't mistrust the ideas behind the stories, the values behind it. And I did not believe in people being capable of that. But I knew that our mind loves to engage with a story as well. And so I first wanted to, and my heart also wants to engage with a story sometimes that is really close to me. And so I chose patience, a little bit of still staying the observer of different other news sources before I could engage with, now it's real for me. And it became real. So what would you say, what to you makes the difference between you being in maybe in a similar situation, consciously cautious, or being mistrustive?
Jana,
Yes, Mal?
I don't know whether this is an appropriate example. What is happening in Ukraine at the moment, so many things are put out in the social media. Okay? Television, WhatsApp, internet. I get it even in my iPad also. Hello?
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
So a part of me says always, I don't want to believe the whole thing without getting all the information. Right? Because people have a tendency, it is human nature to put out there what they think is right all the time. Okay? That may not be what I am thinking. Then about this particular thing, I got a lot of information from various sites. And only then I was able to believe what was put out there. Not until then.
So you also cautiously decided to get different opinions and listen to different sources before you allowed yourself or decided to define this as a truth or your truth. Yes. Yes, I would say to me it totally makes sense, and interestingly enough, it completely relates with the story that I come from, or what was what Mrudula and me were chatting about, because it was also a news about some aspects of the crisis in Ukraine, indeed. So I can totally relate to where you come from. Yeah. I also, while you were speaking, I had this. Yes, Ram, you go. No, you go. You go first.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You were sharing something.
I just had this thought also while Mal was speaking that the difference, I would say, one difference between conscious cautiousness and mistrust is if we get into the, let's say, trap of things being about right or wrong, then this might have to do with mistrust.
Yeah.
If we get in this awareness of different realities, and let's say it's not about me being right or anybody else being right, but it's about listening, really listening, and from there finding awareness or consciousness, maybe, then we're on the side of conscious cautiousness. This is what just came up to me. I hope it makes sense. Ramesh?
Yeah, then I will not add anything because I was just about to say these lines. So exactly, whenever my personal experience, when I read any kind of news or when I hear something, and immediately there are situations where there is an impulsive and an immediate reaction, and most of the time such reaction leads to a judgmental aspects. And that is when in the past it was not, but now I'm pretty much conscious of that, and I immediately distance from getting carried away. And I find my own space, I ground myself, and then later on, when I'm more balanced, probably the same information, the same news, or maybe an additional news that is coming up, then I see it from a very higher perspective rather than a pointed perspective. or a single, how do you say, single point information. So yes, those lines that you said, if I'm falling into judgment, then I know I just distance myself. I don't want to give away my energy. Also, I realize that many times there is nothing that I can do to change the actual situation, but the way I react to that situation is changing myself.
Yeah.
So I would rather be more at peace within myself, which helps me. And when I'm helping myself, I can help something else around me. So somehow I take such conscious choices most of the times. That is how I differentiate.
Great. So I think you took it even further, right? I came from the thought about right or wrong, and you even brought it further to the aspect of, is there any type of judgment in there, or is there simply a non-judgmental, let's say, reception of whatever there is first, which I would say is even broader and totally makes sense, because it can be right or wrong, it can be good or bad, right? It can be new or old, it can be out of date, or it can be useless or useful, right? Even way more than, yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So cautiousness then also might have to do with the non-judgmental reception of information, of the situation, of whatever it is. Is that so? Did I get that?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramesh. Mrudula, please share with us. Good to have you here.
Yeah. So I want to ask this question, Jana. Why is it that when we are seeing good happening, despite the circumstances, that we are having a hard time believing that this good is happening? Why we need confirmation from several sources when the good is happening? We can distrust the bad, if bad, but these are good things. So I have a question for everyone. What is it in us that we're not trusting when good news is put in front of us? Why we need to look at 5 different sources to make sure that good news is good news? Our intuition should tell us, right? So
I would say
that's a question.
It's a good question. For me, it's not about whether these are good or bad news, but about my general approach of dealing with news that I did not receive first as a first, how do you say, witness. For me, it's again about...
Oh, sorry. Why do we need to witness that? I guess that's what I'm asking. When things are being, because we hear so many horrible things in the news, and I don't know, that happens. But when we're hearing good in the news, why do we mistrust that? Or why do we feel like we need to be consciously cautious? When we hear good things, we should, in my mind, I think I really appreciate that somebody is sharing good news. I hope it's not with false intent, but different countries have different way of sharing their news. And the country United States has vast freedom in news that other countries don't. But that's a whole system in itself. We won't go there. But I'm just curious in your conversation. I just have this question for everyone. There's a saying that, Jesus Christ came to this planet 2,000 years ago. He was born. If he came today, there's a saying that we have so much this either cautiousness or mistrust, we will not recognize him if he came. We would not trust even if he tells us that he's coming and he's there in front of us. So what is it? What happened to us that we have to be this cautiousness or mistrust, whatever we want to call it, when we see good things happening? That's my question for everyone. Because our intuition is telling us why we need to search 4 or 5 places. That's a question I have.
I would say it's not always easy to differ between intuition and a impatient heart, for example. But besides that, to me, it's more of an approach of knowing that information many, many times, meanwhile, is faster than the truth. I don't differ between good or bad news. I treat both of them in the same way in terms of when I find different sources bringing up the same thing, and different sources, as you said, from different media, from different countries, from different cultures. What makes it interesting is the beauty of sharing the same, let's say it like this. And this is why I don't differ between the good or the bad here. It's again what Ramesh said to me, it's about the non-judgmental state. So your question for me personally would not be, why do I need to mistrust good news? Because to me, still conscious cautiousness and mistrust are not the same. But why I am consciously cautious about news in general, that would be the question that I can answer. I cannot answer the other one because I don't differ.
I don't know. As I'm growing older, I trust my intuition a lot. And when I see good things happening in the world, I want to share that out with the megaphone, because we don't see that much. We only get to hear the bad things all the time. And it's not about judgment. When I see good things, I want to tell the world, scream to the world, this good is happening. I'm not judgmental in that, when things are really, and from the people that are, this is coming from the people that are being, invaded. So it's something extraordinary. And my intuition is telling me, wow, this is the most amazing thing that I'm seeing. This is the most amazing humanity that I'm seeing. What an example to all of us is what I'm seeing. So yeah, I am cautious in many, many things. I don't take many decisions very lightly or easily. But over the years, when I see goodness that is felt from my heart, I feel like I lost the mistrust or being consciously cautious when I see those kind of things. I want to shout out on the planet, oh my gosh, how beautiful is this? I wish we all could be like that. And they're giving us examples that we ourselves wish that we could be. So that is where, but I understand, the different places have different way of spreading the news. It depends on the culture, the country. So, and then also I think time, aging. There was a lot of, I don't want to even say consciously cautious. I had a lot of mistrust over the years, not just news with people, things, everything. But over the years, I've learned to trust my intuition. Our intuition is our soul's GPS, as I keep posting, because it tells us right away what's, what is the truth that we see. And we talked about truth too. Everybody has their own truth. There is your truth, my truth, and the actual truth, they say. But anyway, it's a very good discussion but my perspective, that's my perspective, is when I see anybody showing the goodness in their heart, my intuition tends to feel the truth in that. But everybody's different. Some can be cautious, some can mistrust, whatever it is. But it's a very good topic. It's a very good discussion. And I cannot go into somebody else's mind. Somebody else can go into my mind. But we all have a barometer, and that's our intuition. And we have to go with that, So
that's why we share here, that everyone can share what's on his or her mind around all those topics, and we can learn and grow with each other. True.
Yes, I'm hoping that more people will share in the discussion when I'm bringing these things up. Let's see. Anybody else want to share?
Yes, thank you, Mrudula.
Mrudula, it's Mal here. Okay. Could it be, just posing another question, could it be because as human beings, we have been sort of disappointed with the truth that is put out there when we find out it has not been completely truthful? Is that why we become cautious?
Very good, Malati ji. I'm waiting for that question. Yes. Yes. But eventually our intuition tells us the truth, right? After we see. And I'm just questioning not just what's happening now. What is it in us that you just gave a very important point? You know, that we see the untruth so much that we don't know which is truth anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking, what is it in us that when we see the truth of goodness that we don't believe it? What is it? That's what, you know, I'm just asking generally too.
Yes.
I don't know, even I'm like that too, but this thing, somehow I'm believing it. What is it that I'm believing this and not that? You know, that's a huge, not only a spiritual question, it's a huge question in general. Yes, Malti.
So it's only experience. The soul has to have that experience to bring that intuition to say, yeah, this is the truth. I know this is the truth. That's what I feel. You know, it has to be the experience. When we have a few knocks, okay, of saying, oh, that person is selling the truth and I can go ahead and do this. And then you find that's not truth. When it happened a few times, you start to question whether your intuition is right. You got the right kind of intuition, right? So to replace that kind of thought in your mind, we have to have positive experience as well, so that it balances out.
Thank you, Mal.
That's
Ramesh.
me.
Yeah, thank you. Ramesh, what would you like to share?
It was a very interesting dimension added by Mrudulaji. And that brings, and that's true, you know, intuition is always helping us and we don't need any other extra support. And that connects me to one of the books I read many years ago, which is Power versus Force by Dr. David Hawkins, where they utilize kinesiology and they kind of map the consciousness, emotions, and feelings. And there they call it the power on the top part as the energy increases, and the force as the energy is lower. And as far as intuition is connected, you know, most of the times when we are connected to shame, whenever we hear, right, shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, is where we have to be cautious. We have to be careful that we are lowering our energies. While when we are connected on the other side, it starts with the courage and it starts increasing the energy. It goes further to neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. So there is also the life view which changes, right? On the force side, it is miserable, evil, hopeless, tragic, frightening, disappointing, antagonism, demanding. And then as we move to the power, it goes to feasible, satisfactory, hopeful, harmonious, meaningful, benign, and complete, perfect, and ease. So as accordingly even emotions, so on and so forth. And I'm just connected to those things as Mridulaji was referring to the intuition, and also to the fact that when we hear good, we just wanted to share it. And I can understand, because that is very much connected to the power aspect of the energy that is transmitted through such messages. So it's a new, very interesting dimension that was added. So thank you, Mridulaji. And we also have participants from YouTube who were sharing. So Sharu is there, and she speaks about, I think, for the aspect of why between good and bad when we were discussing, she says it is because we have wired ourselves into believing that whatever is happening is bad. We are used to that very fact, which leads us on the path of disbelief. So
very true. Very true.
And I would say, yes, Mridula, you want to say something? Oh no, it's just the little hook that I see.
Oh, I was checking, yes, that you're discussing this topic. I think it's a very important topic. And yeah, I agree with what Sharu is saying. We are conditioned that, somehow we have, I'm going to say it point blank, we have disbelief in that, in good truth that's coming. That's why I'm questioning. It's not you or me, or, we all have this disbelief as a culturally, and this is not to any certain country, religion, or language. It's everybody on this planet, Jana, this kind of disbelief. So I don't know if it's a conscious practice we have to change with meditation. My intuition changed. I did the 3-hour meditation for a few months. In those 3-hour meditation, I think we did it 5 weeks at a time. My whole energy changed. I look at everything, like I need to look at with a certain amount of, I guess, a doubt is there. But when my intuition is telling me, I believe it now. I don't question it anymore. So I wish the same for the world. I wish the same, that when they're seeing this beautiful truth, that there is belief, that it's correct. I don't want to say good or bad now, I guess, because there's a different connotation, but I want the world to believe, well, I guess I have to use, when there's goodness, that if our intuition is telling us it's correct, that it's correct, that we don't need to hear from 5 different people. I wish that, for the world. We are conditioned because bad things happened in our history, right? We were withheld information. It's not like now. I mean, United States, the freedom of press is way beyond any country that I've ever seen, but that's how it is now. But it wasn't like that here or anywhere else in the world. We were not told everything, as there were leaders that kept information, or maybe it was our family that kept information. They didn't share everything. So we developed this kind of guarded nature. But I wonder if what's happening is we have to let our guards down. We have to let the goodness in. And maybe that is through meditation. I don't know. I'm just putting some thoughts out there. These are my thoughts. This doesn't have to be any, it's not like a factual publication, but it's just my thoughts in general over a period of years. I'm thinking, that somehow our consciousness on the planet needs to change,
Thank you, Mridula. Yes.
Yeah. And that we need to trust more in the intentions. But how do we do that? That's a good question. How do we do that?
Yeah.
How do we do that so we're not cautious, or the other part of it is mistrust? How do we do that? Yeah, that's a good dialogue. I hope more people tell us their...
Yeah. Actually, I would say from everything that was shared and what Sharu also brought in, that conscious cautiousness is the bridge to cross from mistrust to full positive intuition, let's say it like that. But I might I keep that thought because Mamata wants to share as well. Please tell us, talk to us, talk with us.
Namaste, Anaji.
Namaste.
Namaste, masters. Really, it was a great challenging for the mind. The discussion was, it was so full of wisdom, hearing all the words from so many masters. But I have no experience about the corporate world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a housemaker and I'm 57, but I have experience as a housemaker, and there'll be so many challenges. So I was hearing about the thinking of corporate people as meditators. So it was so interesting for me hearing all the words. But I want to share my experience. See, what I mean is conscious is different from cautiousness.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that. See, as my experience from my past years, what I came to know that I am a cautious personality from my childhood. When I see from my childhood, I have a cautious personality. So means there will be trust and mistrust. There will be good and bad. So there will be different angles when we are cautious. Then later, as there will be so many challenges in the life, and now what I concentrated means when I'm practicing more silence and more meditation, see, then the consciousness came. The consciousness, what it does means the consciousness move off. There will be no duality.
Mm-hmm.
So only conscious, if we are conscious, that's enough. It goes on. Then the every situation, the every challenges will be a trustful. Every person, everything is only trusting. There will be no mistrust. That is my experience.
Mm-hmm.
There will be so many challenges in the life, in the physical level, mental level, and emotional level. See, when I was cautious, I was seeing so many differences in that. But after meditation, if you become conscious, the conscious level, when the conscious level will be improved, then there will be only trust. There is no two paths. Everything we look as a universe, then we feel everything, and I am in each and every cell like that. When we feel, go on feeling like that, there will be no mistrust like that. So I believe all interest. And when we speak about these political happenings and what's going on in the world like that, there also we must have the only consciousness about the trust. Then everything moves on like that, moves on in the same way. That is my belief. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
not belief, but it's going on. This is what I can explain with this English language. So it was so beautiful, and thanks for the meditation, and thanks for the wisdom, and thanks for every master, all the masters. It was a beautiful. Thank you, Yanaji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mamata. I would say this is way more than sharing your thoughts or opinion. This is sharing your experience. And this is huge, right? This is more than what do we have? Knowledge is nothing without experience. So thanks a lot. And it really is so inspiring and gives another angle to this thought that I just had when from everything we said so far, actually, in when working with people on a coaching basis, we have the idea of we can come from unconscious incapability to conscious incapability, to conscious capability, and finally to unconscious capability. In terms of, and not consciousness in the spiritual way, but really in the question of a kind of awareness. And what all you say totally aligns in my head in terms of coming from being rooted in mistrust in the beginning is unconscious incapability. Getting aware of this root is the first step into conscious incapability. And then getting into the process of meditation, of always making the choice of sharpening the intuition, let's say moving closer and closer to consciousness, there might be a phase of conscious cautiousness that leads to consciousness without the necessity of cautiousness anymore. But that's just what came up in my mind, because I personally, I never managed to shift overnight. For me, it was a journey. It was a process, all of my developments. And it's probably there people out there when it's different. I just would say that for, let's say, people like me who found things being a process, for getting into the, let's say, the consciousness or where we want to change towards to, it was a process. But that's only my, just putting, no right or wrong there as well, just putting out the thoughts that came up to me from our really inspiring discussion. Lots to learn. And thank you so much for sharing, Mamata.
Thank you, Anaji. That was the explanation. What was going in my mind, what I wanted to explain, that clearly came from you. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, this is the trust what I want to say. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
And you were so spot on with saying, once you're in consciousness, there is no need for cautiousness anymore, right? This is beautiful. Yes. This is really beautiful.
This is what I have experienced. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks to all of you. Anyone else who would like to add something, share something, ask a question, put out a doubt, right? This is really, it's not only okay, it's warmly welcome to put out a doubt or ask a doubtful question. Is what we're here for as well, I would say. It seems as if there is nothing more to add for today to our discussion. So I really want to thank you for joining into this discussion. Yes, indeed, Mamataji's wisdom was more than powerful. Very true. Thank you. And so I would like to guide you into meditation now. And for doing so, find your way into a comfortable sitting posture, or maybe also lying down, whatever feels best to you. When you're sitting, keep the back straight without tension. And with your next inhalation, gently close your eyes. Lower your gaze behind your closed eyelids, just a little bit. And take some time to fully arrive in the posture. Wander through your body with your attention. Where can you make some last small movements to make your position feel even more comfortable? bring your attention and observe how this feeling of calmness and relaxation develops in you just by sitting in this comfortable position, just by allowing yourself and your body to be comfortable. Can you find this sensation arising? Maybe among many other feelings still. Yet, there it is. Maybe only in a little way. Maybe already in an intense way. Just observe how a feeling of calmness starts to grow as you allow your body to relax. Now relax your shoulders and let them sink a little further. For a while, place one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. And take your time to notice the movement of your body as your breath comes and goes. Comes and goes. And when you feel ready, begin to breathe in through the nose and out through your mouth. When you inhale, feel your belly expanding under your breath as opposed to your chest. When you exhale through the mouth, feel your belly lowering while the chest stays calm and relaxed again. Very good. Continue at your own rhythm and speed. Breathe in through your nose and feel your belly lift up under your hand. Breathe out through the mouth and feel your belly descend. while you feel your belly rising and falling. Your chest remains almost without movement on the outside, but you sense the breath on your inside. While you breathe in through your nose, your belly lifts up. While you breathe out through your mouth, you feel your belly sinking down again. With each inhalation, you take in positive, invigorating freshness through your nose. And with each exhalation through your mouth, you let go of exhaustion, tension, and tightness. Simply take some more breaths this way. In through your nose as you feel the belly rising under your hand. Out through the mouth as you feel your belly descending again. With every in-breath, you soothe your mind. With every out-breath, you soothe your body. When you feel ready, gently lower your hands and let them rest wherever it feels comfortable for you. We go on with breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. With the next inhalation through your nose, gently lower your right ear to your right shoulder, cautiously, gently. And when you exhale through the mouth, bring your head back to the center cautiously. With your next inhalation through your nose, lower your left ear gently to your left shoulder. And with the exhalation through your mouth, bring your head back to the middle. One more time. In through the nose, right ear, gently to the right shoulder. Out through your mouth, cautiously bring the head back to the middle. In through your nose, left ear, gently to the left shoulder. Out through your mouth, gently back to the middle. One more time, in through your nose, right ear to your right shoulder. Out through your mouth, back to the middle. In through your nose, left ear to the left shoulder. Out through your mouth and back to the middle. Now let your breath return to its normal breathing pattern. Let your breath come and go, come and go. I now want you to bring your attention to the bottom of your spine. Also direct the breath there. Breathe in through the bottom of your spine. And with every exhalation, imagine that you're growing roots from that spot at the bottom of your spine right into the ground. Breathe in through your root chakra, and with your out breath, grow your roots right down into the ground. Stronger and stronger, your roots are growing with every exhalation. Now, focus your attention on the area around your pelvic and direct your breath there. Breathe in and out around your pelvic. And visualize a bubbling spring. With each inhalation, the water bubbles up in the spring around your pelvic. With each exhalation, the water begins to flow in all directions around the spring. Visualize the water like a very tiny fountain, growing up into the air with your inhalation, flowing in all directions around the source with your exhalation. Now direct your attention to the area around your navel. Imagine a blazing fire there, right beneath your navel. Direct your breath to your navel. With each inhalation, the flames get more oxygen to grow stronger. And with each exhalation, the flames spread out wider, further. Stay focused on the area around your navel and light the fire. Light your flame and energy. Now, bring your attention towards your chest, the middle of your chest, towards your heart chakra. Breathe in and out through your heart chakra. And imagine the infinite sky right in your chest. And how the blue and the infinite expand with each breath. Breathe in and out through your heart chakra. And with each breath, your chest opens up wider and wider, becoming more and more like the sky itself, and less narrow. Now bring your attention to your throat and start to breathe in and out through your throat chakra. Imagine and visualize the universe, stars, planets, moon, galaxies, Milky Ways. And while you inhale and exhale through the throat, sense how much you are connected to life and everything that exists. Now bring your attention towards your third eye, right in the center between your eyebrows. Direct your inhalation and an exhalation there. And imagine a bright light growing in the center of your eyebrows. A light full of wisdom. With each inhalation, it gets brighter. With each exhalation, it spreads out further. See the light expanding. See it getting brighter. And finally, focus your attention on your crown chakra, on top of your skull. And imagine a bright light shining vertically upwards from there. Start breathing in and out through your crown chakra. With each inhalation, you take in the bright light and its energy. And with each exhalation, you release negativity, stress, tightness into the bright light that carries it away. Inhale all the energy, all the bright light from your connection to your higher source. Exhale whatever you want to release yourself of and send it up so that the source cares for it. Now let go of visualizing the connection. No pictures in front of your inner eye. Just get aware how your breath comes and goes. Spread your attention out in your body again. Get aware of your comfortable posture. Bring your awareness into your arms, your hands, your fingers, and move your fingers. Stroll downwards with your attention towards your upper legs, your lower legs, right into your feet, right up to your toes, and start to move your toes. Cautiously and gently roll your shoulders front to back once or twice, just so that it feels comfortable. Nothing straining, no hurry. Let them sink down again. Make some last movements in your upper body. And whenever you feel ready, at your own pace, in your own time, open your eyes and come back into the room that you're in right now. Thanks to all of you for the discussion and the meditation. I appreciate all of your presence, all of your wisdom and your energy. If there is anything you want to share, please feel free. And if it feels better to stay in silence, that's perfectly fine. Thanks to all of you.
A lot. Thanks a lot, Jana. Wonderfully guided, very beautiful meditation. Thanks a lot.
Mrudula?
Yes, your meditation, I was your fan and insight timer, you know, it puts you in this, you know, the state of beautiful state. Yeah. The last thing I want to say, I encourage everyone to do meditation. I think in that meditation, you'll find your own truth. So that's my last. But your meditation, when you do the meditation, I don't even want to talk, Jana, so I'm not sure I'm talking right now. So I love it. Love to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrudula. Love you too. See you all soon, everybody. Have a great... Yes, thank you, Sarita. Thank you. Have a great Thursday, wherever you are and how much is left from it, and I look forward to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Everyone for joining, and I wish you all a wonderful time till we meet tomorrow for the tomorrow morning session. Thank you. Bye-bye.